who knows what tomorrow is, what celebration happens tomorrow. That's a 40,000 rupee answer right there. So congratulations. Yeah, Guru Purnima, which is with that roughly translates to the full moon of the teacher. So guru, like what is guru? What is teacher? That I think there's a softening around that word in ways that weren't as present a decade ago or 2 decades ago or something. There's less, I don't know, stigma or um, there's examples of gurus kind of who've been manipulative or weren't ethical and things like that, and that seems to get a lot more press than the merits and the benefit or the kind of value that's possible in such a relationship. And I can just speak from my own experience and my own relationship to Baba Haridas, whom I consider a guru, and many others do as well. It's sort of the value or the reflection there goes something like um, having an example in one's life of a higher virtue or a kind of supreme ideal or the deepest principle, and someone who is, insightful enough or adept enough or accomplished enough to hold that on an ongoing basis. And what's more is skillful at um, instructing, right? Like providing the means, the methods by which you can cultivate that within yourself, and so it lives on like that. And I'll share one little anecdotal story in that regard. Baba Haridas was silent as of 1952. He's born in 1923, like back when the British were still had their firm hand on India. And that's like over 100 years ago now. I think about it, right? That's 102 years ago. He lived to be 96. He passed in 2018. But much of that time he was silent. It's not a but, it's an and he was silent. And he would write on a chalkboard and had developed this ability to convey a great deal, to kind of cut to the heart of the matter um, with relatively few words. And I went, and he would hold these like private sessions. You could just sign up, put your name on the list, and you'd be in the hall and kind of roll in there. It'd just be you and him like that. And you could ask your questions. And I don't know, I was in my late 20s or something, and I'm asking like career stuff, like what do I do about my job or this? And I think it just got a little too topical. And he writes down, what about liberation? And like up to that point, I thought that was always just something that happened to somebody else, or like not everyone but me was eligible for liberation. And um, as I've reflected over the weeks and months and years and decades, the compass on all this yoga practice has shifted from less about fixing my hamstrings or tending to my low back or bringing light to my personality or feeling energetic, or like those things are all what desirable and pleasurable, but they're not the kind of at the center for me. They tend to come and go. I don't know if you've noticed, but this body is it's a little fickle organism at times, as is the emotional space, as is the temperament of the world, as is, as we were talking about earlier, our relationships, right? Like there's nothing fixed about any of those things. And where then do we maintain center? Where then do we, kind of connect with something we might call wholeness, or a more inclusive vision, or more expansive vision, or liberation for that matter? Let's say you had a jawbreaker, and the near color of the jawbreaker is red, right? That's where you're currently at. And somebody says, the legend of this jawbreaker is that it's actually blue. Not only is it blue, it's also, yellow, and it's green, and somewhere in the center it's like this bright pink. And if all you know is the surface of the thing, no, it's only red, you might say. It's only, this whole yoga practice is just about being red and nothing. I can see it right here. And in a sense, you're right. You're absolutely right. It appears very red. And I don't see the potential for pink or blue or green or any of the other things. But I'm willing to go about the project, And so that's where your ritual calendar, that's where your daily practice, that weekly, however long you comes in, and slowly, like holy smoke. So there's a green underneath the blue, and then underneath that they said there was there's a yellow, and like this, it slowly reveals. It's like the bigger picture of this whole program starts to reveal itself, and it can be very affirming. I'll just close with a quote again from Baba Haridas. This starts with a quote. It's a quote within a quote. It says, "The guru is a person in our eyes. Actually, the guru is his or her teachings. Remove that physical form, it will not remain forever. If you think that the guru is a person, then the guru will die and the game is over. If the guru is the teaching, then that guru will remain until you are liberated. Will remain until you're liberated."